Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate 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 Vasudevaya.
So this is Srimad Bhagavatam 6 Canto chapter 9 text
40.
Tribhuvanatma bhavanattrivikramatrinhamnatiloka manohamranibhavatavaiva vibhutayo diditija danjatayashchapitesham upakramasamayooyam iti swatma mahaya suranara marikamishvrita jala chakrakritbhiram yatha paradhan dandam dandadhara dadharta evam inam napi bhagavan jahitvashtam utayadi manyase. Translation. O Lord, O personified three worlds, Father of the three worlds, O strength of the three worlds in the form of the Vamana incarnation, O three-eyed form of Nishingadev, O most beautiful person within the three worlds. Everything and everyone, including human beings and even the Daitya demons and the Danavas, is but an expansion of your energy. O supremely powerful one, you have always appeared in your forms as the various incarnations to punish the demons as soon as they become very powerful. You appear as Lord Vamanadev, Lord Ram and Lord Krishna. You appear sometimes as an animal like Lord Boar, sometimes a mixed incarnation like Lord Nishingadev and Lord Hayagriva, and sometimes an aquatic like Lord Fish and Lord Tortoise. Assuming such various forms, you have always punished the demons and the Danavas. We therefore pray that you, Lordship, appear today as another incarnation, if you so desire, to kill the great demon Vritrasura. Prabhupada. There are two kinds of devotees known as Sakama and Akama. Pure devotees are Akama, whereas devotees in the upper planetary systems, such as the demigods, are called Sakama, because they still want to enjoy material opulence. Because of their pious activities, the Sakama devotees are promoted to the higher planetary systems, but at heart they still desire to lord it over the material resources. The Sakama devotees are sometimes disturbed by the demons and Rakshasas, but the Lord is so kind that He always saves them by appearing as an incarnation. The Lord's incarnations are so powerful that Lord Vamanadev covered the entire universe with 2 steps, and therefore had no place for his 3rd step. The Lord is called Trivikram because he showed his strength by delivering the entire universe with merely 3 steps. The difference between Sakama and Akama devotees is that when Sakama devotees, like the demigods, fall into difficulty, they approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead for relief. Whereas Akama devotees, even in the greatest danger, never disturb the Lord for material benefits. Even if an Akama devotee is suffering, he thinks this is due to his past impious activities and agrees to suffer the consequences. He never disturbs the Lord. Sakama devotees immediately pray to the Lord as soon as they are in difficulty, but they are regarded as pious because they consider themselves fully dependent on the mercy of the Lord. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, tatenu kampam susamikshamano ujana vatma kritam vivakam ritvadava purvir vidadhan namaste jivetayo mukti pare sadayava. Even while suffering in midst of difficulties, devotees simply offer their prayers and services more enthusiastically. In this way, they become firmly fixed in devotional service and eligible to return home back to Godhead without a doubt. Sakama devotees, of course, achieve from the Lord the results they desire from their prayers, but they do not immediately become fit to return to Godhead. It is to be noted herein that Lord Vishnu, in his various incarnations, is always the protector of his devotees. Srila Madhvacharya says, Viridham bhava patratvan sarva Vishnu vibhutayaha. Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. And all other incarnations proceed from Lord Vishnu. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swamiti Namne Namaste Saraswati Divam Guravani Prachare Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashtati Visatana. O Lord, a personified three worlds, Father of the three worlds, or strength of the three worlds in the form of the Vamana incarnation, or three-eyed form of Nishingadev, a most beautiful person within the three worlds, everything and everyone, including human beings and even the Daitya demons and the Danavas, is but an expansion of your energy. O supremely powerful one, you have always appeared in your forms as the various incarnations to punish the demons as soon as they become very powerful. You appear as Lord Vamanadev, Lord Ram and Lord Krishna. You appear sometimes as an animal like Lord Boa, and sometimes a mixed incarnation like Lord Nishingadev and Lord Hayagriva, and sometimes an aquatic like Lord Fish and Lord Tortoise. Assuming such various forms, you have always punished the demons and the Danavas. We therefore pray that your Lordship appear today as another incarnation, if you so desire, to kill the great demon Vritrasura. So, of course we know that Srimad Bhagavatam is filled with prayers, but these prayers are not of that kind what normally people understand to be the prayer. Prayer is something like in a mood of help. That's the, help prayers. Or give me prayers. Please, I know you are the supreme, or you are the powerful, you are the resourceful. Give me. I need this, I need that. So it's all entirely self-centered in prayers, innocence of false ego. And such persons are considered pious, because they after all turn. Prabhupada always compared them with Mayavadis, who don't turn to anything. They who come up to the point where they say, well, you don't have to pray to anybody, pray to yourself. It was the comics in the 60s, 70s, in the one satirical newspaper in Germany, which we reproduced later on in our magazine. It's just a guy sitting in front of a mirror with a garland and offering incense to his reflection in a mirror. And underneath is a whole Vyasa Puja offering. I love you, you are the most beautiful, you are the most powerful, you are the most saint, and he offers the incense straight to the image in the mirror. Because that's him, he's God. That was basically the idea. And many prayers and type of thinking of the conditioned soul is designed this way. It's always about me. What about me? Mine and me. And then in extended form, and people consider this very noble, is us and them. But still it's powered exactly by the same energy. This is us and this is ours. And this is them and this is theirs. It's called altruism sometimes. Let's help people to have more. Therefore Prabhupada dismissed even Gandhi completely. Because whole struggle, whole fasting and whole thing was just centered around this. That's our India. There's a meeting with Gandhi and the Britishers. That was at the end already when the British were leaving, who were, by the way, leaving not because of Gandhi. They were leaving because of a certain gentleman, I think called Bosse, who collected a private army of very fierce soldiers and killed British just on sight. Just, you are British? Okay. Immediately, And he was such a fierce warrior. So that's Prabhupada said, that's what they were afraid of. Because British accept only one thing, and that's power. No fasting and fasting this and fasting that. They put Gandhi in jail and he was fasting there for 20, 30 years, Didn't accomplish one thing. He said, yeah, it's very good, please, fast to death. We wish you good luck. And marching. So what? When the march became too big, they came with the bamboo sticks and beat everybody to the ground. It's simple logic. This is how Americans manage, and that's how British manage, and any power simply stay in machine gun, get it all out of the way. So Prabhupada said ultimately power has to be applied in such a circumstance. Anyway, so even Gandhi was dismissed with his wonderful idea of non-violent resistance and everything. Why? Because it was still mentioned, powered by... There was a meeting between British and Gandhi, and the British were like still not believing that this Dhoti man in Dhoti, this weird-looking guy, they were really respecting that he can collect so much followership. That's okay. That was kind of trouble. But they didn't believe he will achieve anything. So they were just laughing. And they were extremely cynical. British really know how to be cynical in the most eloquent way. They really know how to be. They express it so nicely that you are an idiot. They really know how to tell you very nicely that you are a complete idiot. So they are the masters of that. So anyway, they are just laughing in a meeting and said, how do you want to take over the country? You Indians? I mean, we are here since decades in this country managing India. We know what Indians can be. We never saw such a spaced out people. We never saw such a dirty people. We never saw such an incompetent people. So you want to manage a whole big country like this? And Gandhi said, yes, I agree. But we rather prefer to be stupid, incompetent and dirty on our own terms as to have you around. A simple choice to be made. Well, that's called a fool. A fool, he will go rather mine and filthy, dirty and broken as somebody else coming here and doing something. This mentality is all over the place. People are so stubborn sometimes. No, this is our dirt. This is a national dirt. They plant a flag in the dirt and this is ours. It's broken, it's finished, but it's ours. That's the important part. But this is of course foolishness. So these prayers mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam are of entirely different nature. First of all, they are full of knowledge. Prayer is not just some sentimental, give me, and help, and and this. They are full of knowledge. They are based on Shastric evidence. Prayers and worship should be done in knowledge, consciously. Otherwise, everything turns into personal cult. And there is plenty of examples in the history of mankind. People worshipping somebody they have no idea who it is. They do it to pop stars. They do it to anything. Anybody can become anything. People know that. They worship a guy who runs around. Simply. Americans are very good at this. It's just a question of propaganda. If you appear in the media many times, people start to worship you. There was a guy running around America back and forth, and he became, people joined him. And they started to run too. Nobody knew why. Because so many people people sail around the world, for what? For what reason? Sit in a boat and become famous. He sailed around the world alone. What? So what? What was achieved by that? No, he did something nobody else did. Well, you can go in a lunatic, hospital. There are people doing something there which nobody did either. Many, as a matter of fact, they all do something nobody ever did before something. That's called insane. One is trying to hang out of the window and fly away. Well, usually people don't do that, because they know they are not a bird. But he thinks he is. That makes him very unique. And as a matter of fact, many genius people, they are completely insane. Insanity and genius goes very close together. They do always something which nobody else did. They discover something nobody discovered. And that's all. So what's so special about it? But here we have an example of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is constantly doing things which nobody ever did. And nobody ever will. Because nobody is equal to God, and nobody is superior to God. Everybody is subordinate to God. Otherwise, he wouldn't be God. This is one of these things you can test somebody when somebody says, I'm God. You think, oh, then there is nobody superior to you. Well, for sure he is. In a material world, there's always somebody superior to us. Somebody. Oh, and then everybody is equal to you. Oh, there comes to Denmark, everybody is equal to you. Really, is he? How does that work? You know, yeah. Nobody is equal to you, right? So, how that? God is for sure not Danish. Here, everybody is equal. That's important, that everybody is equal. You know, so this is also defeated on every step. We don't find even two exact identical leaves on a tree. We don't find even two identical anything. You don't find two identical brothers. You don't find two identical things. There's always some distinct thing. There's always some special variety. Always. So this is also another myth. So of course we are not God. But these prayers are spoken in a mood of enlightenment and consciously. We address somebody because of his qualities. Because we know what qualities he has, and therefore we, address him because of that. That's a real praise. Not, you shine and you sound so good and you make me feel so good. Oh yeah, really? Well, you can also get some many things make feel you good. You can get some scratching device and scratch yourself on the back and it feels very good. Deva Prabhupada said, Guru is not a dog. It's the reason people buy dogs, because it makes them feel good. They never object, really, they're always in followership. And they confirm your idea that you are God. So they are the God of the dogs. That's all. People like this. They don't like the dog really that much. The dog is just slobbering and passing through everywhere, but they like the idea that somebody's reconfirming my superiority. That's nice. I can control him. Sit! And he sits. You cannot do this with humans, really. Sooner or later you get in trouble. So this is all the desire, underlying desire to become the supreme. So prayers of this sort is, Prabhupada never encouraged us to pray this way. As a matter of fact, he also discouraged devotees to compose their own prayers. One can in a limited way, but he said if they are already bona fide prayers, why not just take that? That's the most best way probably to make sure that Krishna will hear and accept that, because it's verified. Why to compose your own prayer? But simple prayers, we compose prayers for Srila Prabhupada's recovery, we compose prayers to distribute books, we did such a thing. There was even we composed prayers that more devotees joined. There was something we used to chant always in front of the, every morning we chanted a prayer in front of the Guru Puja or something like this. So after the Mangalatik, there was, prayers being read out like this. This was considered bona fide. This is all in the mood of Lord Chaitanya, so there's nothing wrong with this. But of course, a more knowledgeable person will be rather using prayers which are already so wonderfully composed and so full of knowledge. And Bhagavatam is full of them. But none of these prayers is aimed to give me, better circumstances in this material world. This is not the nature of Bhagavatam. Bhagavatam is not the book for that. It's called the most pure, scripture, because it's free of any material. It's all kicked out, as stated right away in the beginning. All these material motivations are kicked out. Bhagavatam is not a bestseller. You don't find it people fighting for Bhagavatam. Why? Because it's just it's all about leaving. We pray that you may deliver us from this world, and we pray that we will never come back again. And that's for people who are just trying day and night to make it nice here, not very encouraging. So therefore they will be never attracted to Krishna consciousness. Only those who have the dormant desire to leave, they can be attracted. But again, there is a division made. There are many divisions amongst devotees. Even Krishna already, while entering Krishna consciousness, makes the divisions. There are those who are curious, there are those who are in need of economic improvement, there are those who are in pain, and there are those who are interested in the philosophy. And Krishna says, and they are actually most dear to me. But they are all dear to me. But those who are actually going for the knowledge, trying to achieve a level of realized knowledge, they are the most dear to me. The rest, they're okay, but as we know, these things can be changing. Knowledge doesn't change. But regarding our emotional satisfaction or dissatisfaction, it's changing all the time. Regarding money, it comes and goes. You know, yeah, sometimes we have 1 million krona in our pocket, sometimes we have nothing. You know, yeah. And regarding curiosity, that can be also satisfied. Yeah, I saw it all. I say, Krishna consciousness, I know. Yeah. Yesterday we met I just said 2 gentlemen from Italy. They used to be devotees. He said for 10 years or something.
Oh, 3 years.
3 years. So when I mentioned some Italian, because I was in Italy also, so I just mentioned some places. They said, so the curiosity was satisfied. That's it. He thinks he knows it all. Probably he could quote you even some shloka. But his life is completely different. He's living some other life. So just this kind of superficial motivations, they may come and go. But ultimately the whole thing is to acquire real, realized knowledge. Now I know that devotees, when they are joining, usually when you are joining, you are in some kind of, you are very optimistic. Because you found something which you didn't find before. And that's very good. That's very good. And from that optimism, ruchi comes, taste. There's some taste of halava, and taste of chanting, and taste of hearing, and taste of knowledge, and there's a new taste, which was never there before. So you kind of, wow, that's far out, I want more of it, that's great. But after a while, the feedback comes. What have I done? And you read, this is forever. Now I surrendered, there's no way back. This idea, no way back, is very unpleasant for the conditioned soul. It's a shock. What? You mean I cannot be a little calmy sometimes? Or just a little bit something? Please. Do I have to be always that kind of devotee? You know, what have I done? Maybe it was not so bad. I mean, I had a bad experiences, certainly, which brought me to Krishna consciousness also. But, you know, look at this kami there. He's walking there, he's happy. Look at the kamis, how secure they are, and how self-confident they look. They march the streets like, yes, the Danish social welfare will take care of us. Justice. Yeah, so, look, I just drink a beer in front of you. I just drink beer and I put a good bottle of vodka next to it. I will drink all this tonight and I will not go to hell. Do I go to hell? No. I'm waking up in the morning, a little headache, but you know, but there I go again. Yeah! I met a girl last night, I don't know where she is now, but we had some sex. So what? I'm good. Are you good? Yeah, I'm also good. We are good. That's the mentality we need in every con. So self-confident. The more stupid they are, like women, sorry I have to say, the more self-confident they look. Like all these girls running in a shopping city all the time, they are like, I'm here, I'm walking, I'm a special girl. The other girls, they are also nice girls, but they're not so special like me. And they are so self-confident. Yes, yes. As soon as you speak something of renunciation or falsity of the world, they immediately come. And what about love? What about love? And you say, okay, then what is love? You don't know what is love? You feel it. just feel right now like going to the toilet. I feel all these things all the time, Actually, as a matter of fact, I feel all the time something. Oh, what is a strong feeling? Well, when I have a dysentery, I have a really strong feeling, Sometimes I have to run. So what do you talk about feelings? Is this what you mean? And then they get angry, and usually they get annoyed, and then they go, he doesn't understand anything. You have to rationalize everything. Feel and do it. Yes. Until you end up sitting in a social welfare office with unwanted pregnancy. Good. How do you feel then? So many good feelings and so many bad feelings coming behind. Immediately. So we don't want both. That's Krishna consciousness. Of course we have a feeling too. But the feelings have to be guarded by the Shastric surveillance. So there's a Shastric surveillance. And they have to be guarded. Whatever we feel, we have to verify. But that doesn't mean we should stop feeling. That's also sometimes devotees say. That's the yogic contamination. Yogis, they try to kill the feelings and kill the thoughts, and at the end you just don't feel anything. You are, as a matter of fact, nothing. That's the perfection. It will never happen. We always feel, want, desire, and think something. Always. But it is to be shastrically controlled. In Vedic society, the feeling doesn't come first. It comes always the Shastra. Very good feeling, that's nice. Like Prabhupada writes to one Grihastha who is sharing with him that his wife feels always lonely. Prabhupada is quite upset actually. He goes, what lonely? Well, she has here in this town no association with other Vaishnavis. I said, she's your wife. She's never lonely. What do you mean by lonely? And besides that feeling is of a very temporary nature. So why should we just dwell on this so much? Sometimes you are lonely, sometimes you are not. Oh, okay. That is actually a sign of extreme ignorance. Prabhupada said, I was never lonely. My spiritual master and Krishna are always with me. But we understand we are not all the time at that level. Okay, so then this feeling of loneliness comes. In Krishna consciousness, we have so much social life. There is no way to be lonely. Sometimes we are really so little lonely that we wish we could be sometimes more lonely. That's usually the Krishna consciousness lifestyle. So, there are different devotees. There is discrimination already while approaching Krishna consciousness, and that discrimination goes along the level of consciousness. And consciousness is defined as thinking, feeling, and willing. So the level of desires in the heart makes the difference. Pure devotees, Prabhupada writes here, they don't pray to Krishna even in times of misery. As Lord Chaitanya says, you may embrace me or you may crush me. I will always be a servant. No condition being put forward. I'm just servant. That's all. Whereby, materialistic, devotees, they are devotees still. They put conditions. And they pray always for more help within the material world. So we have to be aware that always when one joins, one thinks everybody is pure devotee and here we have the perfect knowledge, is wonderful, and then one starts to more realize, well, where is this problems coming from if we are so pure? I remember when I was bhakta, I was just thinking, wow, look at this, and such a power. I was really fascinated. It was Germany, It was like joining some paramilitary troop, It was just bang, 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 action all the time. It was not this 2 hours prasadam and Prabhu, I have to take a rest.